My eye itches. It's driving me nuts. I gotta put some eye drops in. Eye drops, eye drops. Good morning. Hey, hey, hey. If you are hopping on, say good morning. Morning, Jessica. I see you in my inbox, girl. I will get back to you. I need coffee first. I need to function. I need to function this morning before I start doing all the things, you know. Oh my goodness gracious, Lord Almighty, my eye itches, guys. Dry eyes. We got dry eyes going on. Good morning. If you're hopping on the live, say hashtag live in the comments. If you're watching the replay, put hashtag replay. I am just finally getting my crap together this morning. I have been like filling my head with some good stuff. My eye itches. I had to let the dogs out. I had to bring Bailey to the bus stop. I worked for like an hour this morning. Early. Oh my goodness, guys. I need to do some eye drops. Something wicked. Something wicked. Anybody else have dry eye syndrome where you're putting eye drops in all the time? That's me. That is me. Actually, I might go get some eye drops real quick. So I'm gonna start blinking. Just a second, guys. All right, I had to put some eye drops in. Sorry, guys. I'm back. I'm back. My eyes, look at them. They're no longer dry. I'm going to put some more in after I'm done this. I might look like I'm crying this entire video, but it's okay. I'm going to be okay. I swear. I'm going to be okay. Seriously. It's bad. My eyes are dry this morning. Dry eye syndrome. Anywho, so I'm just going to make my coffee. I'm going to be sending out samples at the end of the week. This is off topic, but I'm going to be sending out samples at the end of the week. So if you want samples of my skinny coffee, put hashtag samples below. Hashtag samples, and I'll message you and I'll get it right with you with your address and everything. And I'll send you some keto coffee samples. And the thing is that this coffee specifically, I've lost over 60 pounds. Like, it is crazy. I was huge before I started my journey. And I've lost so much weight in the process, and even one baby later. So I feel amazing. I feel energized. I feel focused. How many of you guys are headed to work this morning? Drop a 1 below if you're headed to work this morning or today in general. Do you have to work today? I have to work today, but I work from home. So I technically don't have to leave my house. It doesn't really feel like work because I love my job. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I just had someone new add me on Snapchat. Interesting. All right, so I'm gonna try to drink my coffee without burning myself. How many of you guys burn yourself on your coffee like every single morning? Or do you drink iced coffee or do you drink hot coffee? Put it in the comments what you normally drink. Because my skinny coffee is my favorite, but if I go out and about, like say I go get Dunkin' or I go do something like different than this, I will have an iced coffee. I am like an iced coffee freak, but my skinny coffee, I like it better hot. I like it better hot. I have drank it cold and it does taste really, really good. Matt likes the skinny coffee cold and iced, but I am like way more, I like it hot. Okay, so anyway, so I wanted to hop on here because how many of you guys feel like you have had someone in your life before who has asked you to do something and you're like, I don't know, maybe, because you don't want to say no, drop a 2 below if you've done that before, because I know for a fact that I have done that before. And so I wanted to hop on here and I really wanted to talk about it because, you know, developing that no muscle in you can really change your life. It can change your entire life. This is something that I have struggled with my whole entire life because I'm a social butterfly, guys. If you didn't notice, I've always like loved talking to people. I've always loved, you know, being in a big crowd, until, I mean, since I started staying home, that's when I like my own company pretty much. But I like Matt's company, and I like Bo's company, I like Bailey's company, and that's why I've been forced to say no to so many things because I prioritize myself. Okay, so like even with inside my home, like when it comes to Bailey, you know, planning things with Bailey and vice versa, I have to almost prioritize it, okay? And I have to schedule it because if you think about it, if I didn't work my business every single day, then we wouldn't have a house. Like if I didn't work my business every single day, Matt wouldn't have had his garage, like we wouldn't have our Jeep, we wouldn't have like anything that we have pretty much, because my business has to be built into my priorities, okay? And so that's why I always tell people that, you know, you can either work it like a hobby or you can work it like a business. And I talk about my business in a lot of my videos because that's our life, okay? And so if you're sick and tired of hearing it, well, that's my life, okay? That's my life. So you can hop off. It's no big deal. I'm not gonna get offended. You shouldn't either. But that is my life. That's what I talk about because that is our life. That's one of my priorities. That's one of my passions. That's one of my dreams, is to own my own business. And that's what I do every single day. I work a business. And so it is incorporated into my life. And so this morning, Bailey had asked me, she said, Mama, I really want to do something fun after school today. And she said, could we do the little bake kits that I got for Christmas? And you know, I could have easily, you know, just said, no, we're not going to do that because Mama's got to work and everything. But the priorities have to be there in order to balance the things in my life that I love the most, okay? And so I want to kind of talk about sacrificing the good for the great and really learning how to plan your life for 2020, how to get out of the rut of same shit, different day, nothing happening for you. And the very first thing, and there's 3 different parts to this, okay? And there's 3 different things that you really need to learn in order to accomplish your goals for 2020. And I mean, they're all kind of intertwined with each other, and a lot of it goes around, you know, your priorities and what comes first, and really knowing what it is in schedule. So you have to schedule your priorities before you schedule your to-dos, okay? And so really start thinking to yourself, what are your priorities? Where do you want to go in your life in 2020? Do you want to make more money? Do you want to, you know, lose weight? Or do you want to get in shape or fit? Or do you want to be a better version of you? Do you want your relationship to thrive? Do you want a better relationship with your kids? Maybe you want to be able to spend more time with your kids and you don't want to be working 24/7. The thing is that what are you going to do to change that? And really creating that priority list and knowing where you're going is so important. Hence why Matt and I, we have our dream board. Bailey's a part of that as well. She has her dream board. She wants a new bedroom. We want a new bedroom for her. We want one closer to our our side of the house. We currently live in a mobile home. So we've lived in this mobile home. We bought it. We paid we are paying cash for like our house and everything. Building it, we paid cash to do it, and so we're gonna pay cash for building an addition on our house. And we have goals and we have dreams to build, you know, Bailey a brand new room. We want Bo to have a brand new room. We want to turn her room into my office. We want our living room to be our dining room. We want to add a new drop down living room into our house. And these are things that are priorities to us, okay? And so we had to prioritize our day to fit that goal for 2020 so that that can happen amongst all other things that are going on in our life. I'm headed to Florida in like less than, I think it's like 20 days away. I'm headed to Florida. This is nuts. we have our wedding this year. We wanted to spend more time with the kids, taking them places this year. I want to take Bailey to the zoo. We want to take her to like the water parks. We want to be able to go to, you know, Fun Town and take her all these fun places in the ocean and really just spend that quality time with our kids. And the only way to do that is to start prioritizing now. The only way to do that is to start realizing what needs to get done now, because we have to sacrifice the good for the great. It's going to be great spending the whole summer with our kids. It is going to be amazing having the wedding that we've always wanted. It is going to be amazing building that addition on our home and having more space in our house. It is going to be, you know, phenomenal being able to do whatever we want whenever we want, okay? And so those are things that we can't do right now. Those are things that we aren't doing as of right now. We're in the process of doing it. We're making progress on it. We are making priorities to make that happen. And so we're prioritizing our day. And so I want to kind of give you an insight of like what our day looks like, and maybe it'll trigger something in you that could help you prioritize your days to meet your goal. The very first step is to literally write down your goal. The statistics have shown that if you don't write down your goal, you're not going anywhere, that it's not going to help you get to where you want to be. And there's specific statistics on it where you know, it's like 80% or something like that. Don't quote me on that, but it's like 80% of people who write down their goals actually accomplish them. Like, it is nuts how much how much more beneficial it is to you to write things down and write down your goals. And you don't have to have a dream board. You can literally have a notebook that you write things down on, or you can have sticky notes. I have a girlfriend that has sticky notes all over her kitchen because she wants to go places, okay? So writing your goal down, no matter what it is. You want a better relationship with your other half. You want a better relationship with your kids. You want to spend more time with them this summer. You want to make sure that you don't have to waste your, make sure that you don't not have the money for Christmas next year. Make sure that you don't have to worry anymore, or you want to get into a stable place, or you want to build a house, or whatever you want to do, okay? You need to write down that goal, because unless it's written down, it's not happening. It's not happening because it has to be a constant reminder that you're going. And so the second thing that I do is I prioritize my day to fit that goal, to fit those goals that are in mind. Matt and I have a lot of goals that require money to get those things. And the freedom of time includes getting money too, because we need that money to be rolling in residually all the time so that we can go spend time with our kids, so that we can continue to live the freedom of time life that we currently live right now. And so writing down our priorities is really important. And my number one priority is always my mind. And I know that sounds really, really selfish, but it's kind of like, on an airplane where they tell you that if the plane is going down, you need to put your own mask on before you help the person next to you put their mask on. And there's a reason for it. Because if you go down and your mindset is going, pew, how are you supposed to help anybody else? How are you supposed to bring any value to anybody else's life? Or how are you supposed to do any of the things that you want to do if your plane's going down and you haven't even put your mask on yet and you're already passing out? It's not going to happen. And so creating that boundary for yourself and saying, I am my number one priority. My mindset, my mind, the things that are going on inside my head are a priority, because what's going to happen when you go nuts? Like, honestly, what's going to happen when you go nuts? You can't do all the rest of the things on your priority list because your mind is such a tricky thing, and you have to make sure you take care of it. The second thing that's on my list are my kids. My kids are so important to me. I have to make sure that they are taken care of because they can't take care of themselves. I have to make sure that their mind is growing and they're growing as people to become productive members of society, to live their own life, to make sure that they're not running around like Rambo and killing people, I have to make sure that they are my priority. They're on my priority list. And so my kids are my second priority, making sure that they're fed, making sure that they stay alive. That is my second priority, making sure that they get their mom in their life. And my next priority is Matt and I's relationship. And I know this sounds really crazy to prioritize something like that, but I'm telling you guys, it is a priority. When you are in a relationship, you are in a commitment. And if you're married, you're in a commitment for life. And what happens when you don't make that person a priority? Usually, pew, and they no longer become a part of your life, or they become such a miserable part of your life that you can't take care of 1 and 2. So taking care of your relationship, taking care of, doing those date nights that you need to do, taking the time to spend time talking to your other half, unplug, spend time just with them and no one else. Matt and I do this every single day. We spend time at night before we go to bed. We talk to each other. When Bailey goes to sleep at night, like last night, we were multitasking and we were folding our clothes in our bedroom because, guys, I got baskets all over my room. How many of you guys hate laundry? Drop a 4 below if you hate laundry. That's me. So I procrastinate on it. It's like at the bottom of my priority list. And so we were taking care of our bottom of our priority list things last night while spending time together. So we were laughing together, we were joking together, we were teasing each other, we were, joking around, stuff like that. And we were folding clothes at the same time together. So we were taking care of that priority list, but we were spending time together at the same time, okay? But taking care of your relationship is so important. Morning, Mom. Good morning, Sharon. Good morning, Melanie. So the next thing on my list is definitely my business, okay? Number 4 on my list is my business, and there's a reason for it. Because if my business was not to thrive, we would not have the home that we have. My mindset wouldn't be able to function unless we have, a stable living environment. And I've been in those unstable environments before. And if you've been in one, then you know that your mindset kind of goes for a loop. How many of you guys have been in those environments where like your brain just goes for a loop? Drop a 5 below if you've ever, not known what you were going to do about your living situation, because that has been us before several times. Before I started my business, we were about to lose our house. We literally were several mortgage payments behind. We had gotten the foreclosure notice in the mail. They were sending us to court. We were getting stuff done. And I made the decision to join my business because I wanted the peace of mind. I was done living paycheck to paycheck, and I was done feeling I was just done feeling the negative vibes in my mental status, pretty much. And the only way to fix it was to make sure that our living situation was permanent. And so I made the decision. And so my business is on my priorities list. I work it and I prioritize my business right up there with my relationship, right up there with my kids, right up there with my own mindset. I prioritize my business and I work it like a business. I don't work it like a hobby. And so it needs to be a priority. That's what pays for all of our stuff. That's what's going to fill all of our goals and our dreams. We have dreams of building an addition to the house. We have dreams of wanting to spend time with our kids. We have dreams of, wanting to have the best summer we possibly can have and getting married and having our favorite wedding, okay? That's never going to happen. All those things are never going to happen unless we have money. And so that is like the time spent with my kids, the wedding of our dreams, the addition on the house, those are my why, but the business has to follow and the money has to flow in to create those things and to make those things happen. And so that's why if you want something to happen in your life, you have to make it a priority. So my business is a priority because I know where I want to go. I've got a clear vision, okay? So the last thing on my list, it's really not the last thing on my list, okay? The 5th thing on my list is cleaning my house. Cleaning my house to have that clean space. I know we were just talking about laundry and hating laundry. Well, guess what, guys? I hate dishes too. I don't like cleaning. I hate it more than anything. To me, it's like a waste of my time, but I do it anyways because it's a priority. If I don't have a clean space, living with anxiety, living with PTSD, living with, postpartum depression, most of you guys know if your space is messy and you live with a mental illness, your mind cannot function. So all these things are like a big spinning wheel. Without one, you can't get the other. And so the priorities are like a big circle. Without working my business, I wouldn't have peace of mind. Without, spending time with Bailey, then I wouldn't have peace of mind. Without having, a relationship with Matt, I wouldn't be able to, give my kids everything that they have. You know what I mean? Like, it's several different things all built into one. And the 6th thing on my list is other people. That are in our circle, but they're in the second circle around. And so I prioritize it around that. And so people that if I am like, you know, if I'm taking care of all the things that I need to take care of in my life, then those are the people that I will go and I will spend time with, okay? And it sucks to put people like that, you know, at your list or whatever, where you have to get all the rest of the things done. But in order to keep your life as it is, or in order to advance your life, you have to do that to move it forward. And so that brings me to my next topic of prioritizing yourself, but then building that no muscle, okay? That no muscle. Good morning. Good morning, Aunt Diane. So good to see you in here. So building that no muscle. This is something that girls in my team, girls in the business, they struggle with so bad. Building that no muscle, I feel like, is not just the girls on my team, but I'm telling you, it is myself. I have struggled with this in the past. It is probably every single person on this video. If you have struggled ever saying no to things that you know you should say no to saying, you know, you should say no to them, drop a 7 below if you have ever come across something that you know you should say no to, but you didn't. And there's usually a reason for it, because maybe, you know, someone's asking you to go do something, or, you know, they're telling you that they want to do this and this is, you know, the plan for them and they want you to join, and you're afraid that if you say no, they're going to hate you. All right. The second thing is maybe they won't be there for you anymore. If you're not there to answer all their, you know, questions, or be there every single time that they speak, maybe they won't be there for you. And maybe that's a big fear for you. Maybe they will talk to everyone that does say yes, and then they'll invite them to whatever is going on, and they'll talk about you, and then you'll miss out and everybody will be talking. How many of you guys have a fear of that? Drop an 8 below if you're fearful of what that other person thinks. When in reality, if you're living your life to say yes to everybody else, you're not living your own life. You're living someone else's life. You're living their dream, their goal. You're living what they want, not what you want. You're not living the life that you want for yourself. And so growing that no muscle is so important. And I learned this a few days ago while I was doing personal development, and something that I learned on how to say no was literally was saying just, you know, thinking and giving them a reason, but a true reason. Because how many times have you said no and then lied to someone and told them a big obnoxious excuse? That's just annoying, right? You get annoyed when someone tells you no and then they tell you this huge elaborate story that probably isn't true, and then you question it, and then you're like, what? Good morning, Jenny Marie. Hey girlfriend, I haven't seen you in a while on here. I feel like maybe you are on here, but I never get to see you while I'm actually doing it. So good morning, Kelsey. So anyways, you know, growing that no, and just saying no to one thing opens up doors for you to say yes to other things. Okay, so think about your priorities. I think about it this way. Okay, I've been invited to so many different things. Including, you know, people, you know, just asking me to go do fun things, or asking me to go on vacations, or asking me to go do whatever. But when I truly sit down and I think about it, I have to say no in order to say yes to our future. So if I want to say yes to building, you know, our addition on our house, if I want to say yes to having the best relationship with Matt I could possibly have, if I want to say yes to being able to spend the most time with my kids that I possibly want this summer, I have to say no to those people who are asking me to go do these fun things right now, because I have to sacrifice the good for the great. It's going to be great spending time with my kids this summer. It is going to be great building that addition and feeling like, whew, we got so much room in the house. It is going to be great having that stacked bank account and making sure that we don't have to worry about bills whenever we have to pay them. You know what I mean? We can put them on auto and we don't have to worry about it. It is going to be great, you know, being able to go out on a random date night and not having to even look at our bank account. It is going to be great to do all those things. And so in order to get those great things, I have to say no to those people who are just wanting me to come hang out. Who are just wanting me to come hang out, who are just wanting me to go out to dinner, or who wanted me to go, you know, do these things, because it's taking my time away from the things that I have to do in order to say yes to so much more in our life. And honestly, when you're saying no, it's okay to just say thank you, give them a honest reason, saying, like, for instance, you know, sometimes my mom calls and I have to tell her, you know, Mom, I can't be on the phone because I'm working my business. I've got girls I need to train and stuff like that. And my mom, thankfully, she's my number one supporter in my life. And she supports me and she knows what I have to do. So saying, you know, thank you for calling me, love you. But I got to get this done because I really need to make sure that we pay this bill. And I really need to make sure that we pay, you know, we can afford to pay for our wedding in the future. And she knows that. And so if you've got people like that in your life, great. But if you explain to someone to the degree that they deserve that explanation, okay? So I'm not saying if it's someone that's like a random person you rarely ever talk to, you don't need to tell them your whole life story. You don't need to tell them exactly what you're doing. You just have to tell them to the degree that they should know what you're doing to. You know what I mean? Like, you're just going to tell them, simple, straightforward, to the point. Say thank you for inviting me, or thank you for including me, but I'm going to have to say no this time because I'm doing this. That leaves no room for them going back and forth, being wishy-washy. That leaves no room for them not having a clear explanation or not having a clear answer. You're giving a hard no. And you are saying thank you, you're being nice, you're being kind, but you're making sure that they know that, you know, your priorities are intact. So no way, no problem, say no. But I don't like to say no. Hope you all have. We did, thank you. I'm at school when you are on. Oh, okay, I got you, Jenny. So when it comes down to it, if those people in your life are getting upset, and this goes right back to your, you know, you are who you surround yourself with. The 5 people that you spend the most time with should be people who inspire you, should be people who support you, who love you no matter what is going on, no matter what is going on in your life. They should understand what is going on. They should understand priorities come first. They should be people who have those priorities, who have those goals, who have them written down. No matter whether they're family or not, they should be those people who spend time with you, or who understand what's going on. And if they get upset, guys, if you go to tell someone no and they get upset, no matter who it is, that has nothing to do with you. That has nothing to do with you. That has to do with what's going on internally in their head. That's something that they have to work on. That is not something that you have to be upset about or you have to feel bad about. And I know a lot of us feel bad when we turn someone down, but in order to get the great, you have to give up the good. You just have to. No matter what you do in your life, you have to give up the good for the great. And so if you say no to someone and if they have, you know, they get upset or whatever, that is honestly, that's just an ego out of control. And that's something that they have to internally work on, and that has nothing to do with you. And so learning how to separate your mindset and yourself from that person's opinion is very, very, very important. Learning that no muscle and knowing that it's okay to say no, and you don't always have to say yes all the time, because if you do say yes all the time, you're not living your own life. You're living their life. You're living someone else's life. And I know this because I've had troubles with this before. And guess where my life went? Nowhere is that I wanted it to go. I was living my life miserable. I hated myself. I didn't like who I was. I wasn't going anywhere. Matt and I were struggling so bad. You want to know why? Because I said yes to everybody else instead of saying yes to me. Instead of saying yes to myself, to Bailey, to Bo, to Matt, to our house, to our business, I said no to all those things so that I can say yes to other people. Why? It makes no sense. And so living your life for you is so important. It's just so important. And it starts with growing this no muscle. It starts with saying no, and saying no to the things that are good so that you can have the great in the future. All right, so I'm gonna drink my coffee. I got some work to do. I know I got you guys in my inbox right now. I'll be messaging you guys momentarily, and I love you, and I hope you have an amazing Wednesday.